In this video, we're gonna do a product review for a Bubba Net. This is the same company that makes those knives that are really popular. They're making nets now, and so I've been using this for the past while just to test it out. And so in this video, I'm gonna share the top pros as well as the top cons that I've seen while using this net. And we're not affiliated with this company, so it doesn't help us financially if you buy one or if you don't buy one. So this is gonna be 100% transparent, and I'd love to hear your feedback as well if you've used them, so don't be shy to leave a comment down below. All the comments will stay. So we'll cover the pros first, and really just overall, I've never really been much of a net fan. I've always enjoyed like grabbing the fish as part of the actual catch, but after using a net, I'm actually going to be continuing to bring a net with me, because especially if I'm taking my dog Otis out. It's just much safer for Otis. It's much safer for the fish. You won't lose them to drop it on the boat. But more importantly, when you are choosing net, and especially if you're going to be doing some catch and release fishing, a big thing I like about this is the mesh. If you look closely, this is rubber mesh. It's all rubber lined, and also not only that, but there's no knots. So this is knotless. So this is all really smooth. This is as smooth as possible for the fish to preserve the slime on their skin, just to preserve their skin, to not damage their skin while they're being netted. So the key is just get it wet, and once this is wet, this is as smooth a surface as possible to help make sure that you land the fish and you release it as safely as possible. So that is my #1 pro. I'm very impressed with this net just for how smooth. And there's literally, you can tell they did a lot of work to make sure that there's no hard edges at all. So that's a great pro. Another pro is the strength. I mean, this is definitely the strongest net I've used. All my other nets have eventually succumbed to getting like a big snook or big redfish, and taking somebody out who doesn't know the proper net etiquette, where typically you get in the net and pull up. And if you get a big fish in most nets and you hold it this way, it's gonna break, usually right here. And this thing is shockingly strong. So there is, in my opinion, anything that can fit in this loop will not break the net. So super strong, so strength is a huge plus. And the other thing is the actual grip. One cool thing that I like about it is that obviously it's a comfortable grip, but as far as storage, so storage on boats is tough, and I really like the fact that they went the extra layer and put these notches. And what those are for is for rod holders, right? Most rod holders have a screw, going across, so you can put it in the rod holder and it'll be fixed. If you want it, one way, if you want it like aerodynamic in the wind, you can get it, put it in the rod holder, and it's gonna be fixed. It's not gonna move. Or if you want it the other way, just change it and put it down. And so really, really cool. The grip, not only is it comfortable, but it also has the grooves on the bottom so that you can secure the net without worrying about it shifting while you're driving or while you're fishing. So now we'll go to the cons. And so I'll just go through the biggest one is price, right? These are pretty expensive. They're over $150. And there's a lot of other nets that are not that expensive, but as I said before, those other nets are not as good for the fish, right? Plus, they're going to be prone to breaking. So far, all of my nets have eventually broke after not too much of usage, and I would be totally shocked if this net actually did break. So again, it is more expensive than most others, but again, it does have some pretty unique features that most others do not. So another part is the actual size, right? Like, this is really good for any kind of slot redfish. Basically 30 inches and under, this could easily handle, just given the size and how deep the actual mesh is. But landing in like a big red, like a big bull red, or a 40+ inch snook, this size net is going to be a little bit tougher to do it. There's just not enough gap, width in the actual loop, and then not enough even mesh in the bottom. But for the majority of redfish, for really good sized trout, for most inshore fish, this can definitely get the job. And so the last con that I can think of is just the actual storage. So my boat, I have a 17-foot skiff, and this net is a little bit too wide to fit under the gunnels, and it doesn't collapse. Like some nets do collapse, where you can really shrink them down. But again, when you have those collapsible nets, those are the ones that I've gotten in the past, and those are the ones that I've always eventually broke after not too long of using them. So again, it's all about the pros and the cons. So if you're looking for a net, I highly recommend checking these out. Again, specifically about the mesh, I really, really like this. If you don't get this one, make sure you get a net similar to this that has the knotless rubber coated mesh. You don't want to have the cloth or the ones with those big knots in there, because that's really gonna harm the fish's skin. So that's it for now. Leave a question down below if you have any, and if you have used this net, please do share your feedback, whether it's good or bad. We're not gonna take it down. As I said before, we are 100% unbiased in this. Just wanted to share with you our feedback and experience with using this product so far. And if you're a hardcore saltwater angler and you're buying a lot of gear like this, I highly recommend checking out our Insider Fishing Club. We have group discounts on a lot of very popular products. We have now over 11,000 members. So we have some really awesome equipment in there that you can get discounts on, and it's probably equipment that you're already using. So click down below and we'll show you some details. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time and watching this video. See you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.